Before leading his people over the Jordan River into the promised land, Joshua sent 2 Israelite men to spy on the city of Jericho. The spies stayed in the home of Rahab, a prostitute. When Rahab was commanded by our king to bring forth the men that have come to you, who entered your house, she claims that they left, and she does not know where they went. In reality, she had hidden the 2 Israelites on the roof of her house. In gratitude, the spies assure Rahab that if she gathers her family together in her house, ties a scarlet cord to a window of her house, the Israelites will spare her life and her family's lives. Rahab heeds their request, and the Israelites make sure that she and her family are not harmed. In Jesus' genealogy of Matthew's Gospel, Rahab is listed as having married Salmon, the great-great-grandfather of King David. The church fathers interpreted Rahab as a type of the church. According to Gregory of Elvira, even though Rahab was a prostitute, and I quote, "Nevertheless, Rahab is a sign of the virgin church, considered as a foreshadow of the coming realities at the end of the age, where she alone is preserved to life among all who are perishing." Indeed, she is called the church because the Greek word ecclesia means gathering of the people. And just as St. Paul says, an unfaithful wife is sanctified through her faithful husband, so also is the church, coming from the infidelity of the Gentiles and prostitution with idols, sanctified through the body of Christ, of which we are members, as we learn from St. Paul. Rahab's welcoming, sheltering, hiding, and sending out 2 Israelite spies by a rope through the window of her home is interpreted by Cassiodorus as a type of the church, which takes in souls endangered by the vice of pride and lets them out into life by another route, the way of humility and patience. Cyprian of Carthage describes Rahab gathering her family together under the one roof of her house as an important detail of her role as a type of the church. This action foreshadows the Catholic Church for all who are to live and escape the destruction of the world must be gathered into one house alone, the church. According to the Magisterium, one may be gathered into the saving house of the church by the ordinary way of baptism and by desire, even unconscious desire. And I quote, "Every man who is ignorant of the gospel of Christ and his church, but seeks the truth and does the will of God in accordance with his understanding of it, can be saved." It may be supposed that such persons would have desired baptism explicitly if they had known its necessity. In the quoted verse by Cyprian, the scarlet cloth that Rahab is told to hang outside of her window is identified as fulfilled by the blood of Christ. In the book of Joshua, the red cloth signaled to the conquering Israelites to spare Rahab and her family. The New Testament's blood of Christ fulfills this by offering salvation from eternal death.